Yo, what's up, swag gang? You already know what time it is, man. It's your boy Keon Lara, aka KL Swag, back here with a video, man. Look, man, we about to react to the former NFL stars who vanished, bro. Hey, hey, shout out to Microphone, man. I don't know if these superstars, these former NFL stars vanished, bro. But we're gonna see what Microphone talking about, man. Damn, I gotta cut that out. I said, all right. Let me stop. Cause y'all know sometimes I stutter sometimes, and I start to like, mess up. Y'all know, bro. I got a speech impediment. Y'all know that, bro. So don't start picking at me in the comments, bro. You're going to hell for that. Picking on a person that that's kind of mentally challenged or whatever like that. Don't be doing that. All right. So look, man. Let's get into the reaction, bro. You're already showing Dez Bryant. Damn, he's big as hell. I would still put him on his ass if he came at me full speed. But let's get into it.
Ever since the NFL has made an effort to at least educate players about their financial futures, one of the terms that were used to at least make NFL.
I'm not gonna lie though, Dez Bryant is still playing, bro. So why is he using Dez Bryant for? Like, damn, Dez Bryant's still playing.
Players aware of the fact that this career isn't necessarily sustainable, of course, unless if you're Tom Brady and you happen to play for 2 decades plus, is that the NFL stands for not for long. The average NFL player's career lasts just 2.5 years, and the average career for a quarterback is 3 years, whereas the average for a wide receiver is a little over 2 years. But of course, in any sport, there are familiar faces that we expect to dominate the league. Have you ever wondered what in the world happened to some of the star players of yesterday? There are a myriad of players in NFL history that are absolute studs that just completely vanished in the blink of an eye. 1 year they're leading the NFL in rushing, and 2 to 3 years later, they're out of the league completely. One season they're considered to be the future face of the NFL, and 2 years later we don't even hear another word from them. So in today's video, what we're going to be discussing is multiple players that completely dominated in their primes that fell off extremely quickly, and some that may have even disappeared completely. Now, before we get to the content, I wanted to let you guys know that we are giving away a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. All you have to do is subscribe and turn on our notifications for this channel. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Do you want to know how you could tell that there are great expectations placed before a player? If they happen to wear the number 88 for the Dallas Cowboys, this signifies that they are next in line to be the franchise cornerstone wide receiver. This jersey has been shared by the likes of Drew Pearson, Michael Irvin, and most recently, CeeDee Lamb. But right before CeeDee Lamb, there was another player that was supposed to take that torch over the next decade, and for a decent amount of time, he actually was fulfilling the expectations that were placed upon him. That man is Dez Bryant. Dez Bryant was drafted with the 24th pick in the 2010 NFL Draft and was lauded for his incredible physical play and his ability to explode down the field. Despite only being 6'2", he was a consistent jump ball threat and a reliable red zone target. In his second season,
he was. I'm not gonna lie. He really was, bro. He really was.
In the NFL, he almost eclipsed 1,000 yards with 928 yards receiving with 9 touchdowns. And in the 2012 NFL season, Dez Bryant and Tony Romo would finally establish a connection, which would result in 1,382 receiving yards, 12 touchdowns, and 92 receptions.
That's not that bad.
Would replicate those statistics during the 2013 and 2014 season, going for 1,233 receiving yards and 13 touchdowns in 2013, before exploding for 16 touchdowns and 1,320 receiving yards in 2014. This would be good enough to lead the NFL in receiving touchdowns, and at this point, Dez Bryant was becoming a household name as a wide receiver, making it to 3 Pro Bowls and being selected as a first-team All-Pro in 2014. To give you an idea of how good Dez Bryant was, before the 2015 season, Dez Bryant was ranked 15th by his fellow players on the NFL Top 100 Players of 2015. Dez would then get the
I'm not gonna lie, back then, bro, Dez Bryant was going stupid, bro. I don't know what happened now. You know, hey man, just sometimes you have your time, and then sometimes it goes down the drain. But, bro, damn, bro, he was going crazy.
non-exclusive franchise tag and would sign a 5-year, $70 million contract with $45 million of guaranteed
That is
money
bread.
and a $20 million signing bonus with the Cowboys in the 2015 offseason. 2015 was a little bit more bumpy for Dez. He would encounter various foot injuries and he wouldn't be able to play a full season, and as a result, his statistics didn't look nearly as good. And when he came back in 2016 and teamed up with brand new Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott, despite being healthy for 13 games, he only was able to put up 796 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns and was beginning to drop a lot of wide open
So he
footballs.
basically just was
This
unhealthy.
trend would continue in the 2017 season as Dez would record 69 receptions for 838 yards and 6 touchdowns, and the Cowboys would finish 9-7 and miss the playoffs, which would result in Dez Bryant getting released on April 13, 2018. But literally 2 days after signing with the New Orleans Saints, Dez Bryant would tear his Achilles tendon during a team practice. He would get placed on an injured reserve the following.
Damn, I did not know that, bro. So basically, he would just, hey, bro, he just kept getting hurt, bro. Just kept getting hurt. Just seemed like he wasn't healthy, bro. Still a good receiver, though.
Day and would miss the 2019 season. Fortunately, he would sign with the Baltimore Ravens practice squad in 2020 and would get promoted to the active roster in November. Unfortunately, right before he got a chance for a revenge game against the Dallas Cowboys, he would test positive for COVID and would be ruled ineligible. Dez did finish with 5 games played for 6 receptions, 47 yards, and 2 touchdowns for the Baltimore Ravens, but that's a far cry from his dominance in the middle of the 2010s. Up next, we have Earl Thomas, a player that was a 3-time first-team All-Pro from 2012 to 2014, a 2-time...
Earl Thomas did not vanish. We all know what happened with Earl Thomas, bro. He was fighting Chuck Clark, bro. Like, bro, he was fighting Chuck Clark, bro, in practice, bro. And they say his attitude wasn't, you know, like that, too. Like, they say he had a bad attitude as well, bro. But Earl Thomas in Venice, bro. Earl Thomas just doing his thing and living his life. I see him on IG. He look like he living his life, you know, with his wife and having fun and stuff. But, bro, Earl Thomas is still like that, bro. He's still like that. He just a little old.
Second-team All-Pro in 2011 and 2017, and a 7-time Pro Bowler from 2011 to 2015, 2017, and 2019.
Damn.
Earl Thomas was considered to be one of the captains of the Legion of Boom, one of the most dominant defenses of the past decade.
Legion of Boom. He was like that.
His best season would be the 2013 season when he had 105 combined tackles and 5 interceptions. And throughout his entire career, he recorded 3 touchdowns. Things began to crash down for Earl Thomas right after the 2018 season, right after his stint.
Damn, that was a big hit.
You see, Earl Thomas would then go on to sign a 4-year, $55 million contract with the Baltimore Ravens with $32 million guaranteed. Here's the part that sucks. He was literally about to sign a 1-year, $12 million deal with the Kansas City Chiefs a day.
Bro, that is so crazy.
Earlier, and those Chiefs would end up winning a Super Bowl. The problem here was the fact that Earl Thomas was not used to Baltimore's defensive scheme. After playing his entire career in a relatively simple cover 3 zone scheme, Earl Thomas found it very hard to adjust to a more complicated system that the Baltimore Ravens defense used. And although in the beginning things didn't really seem that bad, it was that issue that eventually became bigger and bigger under a microscope that eventually resulted in a huge fight with his fellow safety teammate Chuck Clark in August of 2020. This was because Earl Thomas missed a coverage that allowed Mark Andrews to score a long touchdown. Now, during that argument, apparently Earl Thomas would throw his helmet down and would punch Chuck Clark and would get sent home. And the day after, Earl Thomas would get released due to conduct detrimental to the team. And after a bunch of players came and told John Harbaugh and general manager Eric DaCosta that they don't want Earl Thomas on the team anymore, he was released and hasn't found another team.
So other players told the coaches as well, bro. Earl Thomas, really, bro? And it sounded like it was his fault, to be honest, bro. It's practice, bro. It's a blown coverage. It is what it is. You're in practice. That's why it's called practice. Like, come on, Earl. You don't do nothing like that, bro. Oh, my gosh, bro.
Since. This is really interesting because he was always involved in Dallas Cowboys rumors and he's just 32 years old. Now, if you really want to talk about a disappearing act, you can't make a video like this without mentioning Andrew Luck, because this isn't a player that necessarily fell off. This is a player that literally disappeared off of the face of the earth. I mean, we're talking about no interviews, no press conferences,
He low-key did.
Not a word from Andrew Luck in the public eye ever since he retired as a member of the Indianapolis Colts. Let me paint a picture for you to understand how Andrew Luck's career went if you just started watching football now. Imagine if Trevor Lawrence came into the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars refused to build around him properly. He ended up getting sacked a bunch of times and battered and bruised, and as a result, he decided to retire 6 years later. Obviously, It's a little bit more complicated than that, but this is what happened essentially with Andrew Luck. Despite having absolutely dominant statistics, throwing for 23,671 passing yards, 171 touchdowns, and 83 interceptions, and showing moments of absolute greatness, after the 2016 season, Andrew Luck wasn't the same. He would miss the entire 2017 season with a shoulder injury, and by the time he would return in the 2018 season, he had a completely redone
He would get his ass popped. I mean, he would get popped. Damn. Yeah, he was getting popped, dog. Swear, yeah, he was getting popped, bro. Yeah, he had to retire after that, bro. That's crazy, bro. Indianapolis, that's messed up, bro. And Andrew Luck was like that too, bro. Andrew Luck was fire, bro. Bro, it's rappers literally making songs about Andrew Luck, bro. Or putting him in songs, bro. Like having him as lyrics and stuff, bro. That's how you know a football player or a quarterback is really like that, bro. When rappers start rapping about you, Andrew Luck, you wanted up, Andrew Luck, and I don't want those in the mind. Andrew Luck, yeah, got messages to Andrew Luck, yeah, like something like that. You know, something like that. I know what I'm talking about. Let's get into it.
Throwing motion, which is kind of sad because one of the things that many analysts and scouts lauded Andrew Luck for coming into the NFL draft was his beautiful throwing mechanics.
Yes.
After the 2018 season, he would throw for 39 touchdowns and 15 interceptions for 4,593 yards. Andrew Luck would tearfully announce his retirement the preseason prior to the 2019 season. I've been stuck in this process and I haven't been able to live the life I want to live. It's taken the joy out of this game. The only way forward for me is to remove myself from football. This is not an easy decision. It's the hardest decision of my life, but it is the right decision for me. Andrew Luck pretty much said point blank that he no longer loves the game of football anymore, turning down millions of dollars just to retire in the midst of his prime. The sad thing is, the Indianapolis Colts were in a remarkable salary cap situation during that time. And had he had stayed on the Colts, there's no doubt in my mind that they would have at least made it to 1 or 2 Super Bowls. But that is just going to be
crazy.
Now, you want to hear something else that's crazy? The 2014 NFL Offensive Player of the Year, DeMarco Murray, who also was a first-team was out of the...
A lot of people were talking about DeMarco Murray, bro. DeMarco Murray was nasty, bro. Oh my gosh, I gotta hear this. We gotta hear this, bro.
NFL a mere 3 years later. Check this out. During the 2013 NFL season, DeMarco Murray would have a remarkable 5.2 yards per carry average with 1,121 yards picked up on the ground. And in the 2014 season, he would rush for 1,845 yards for a bizarre 4.7 yards per carry average and 13 touchdowns. DeMarco Murray was was then set to cash in after the 2014 season, and he decided to sign with the Philadelphia Eagles, reuniting with his old quarterback in college during his time in Oklahoma, Sam Bradford. But the unfortunate part about this was Chip Kelly didn't have the proper offensive scheme for DeMarco Murray.
Kelly was
Pretty
ass.
much what happened to Earl Thomas on defense is what would happen to DeMarco Murray on offense. DeMarco was placed in a zone running scheme when he was used to a power running scheme. He was asked to make reads that he never had to make before, and as a result, he would only rush for 702 yards for a paltry 3.6 yards per carry average. After one season, the Philadelphia Eagles figured that they've seen enough, and they traded DeMarco.
Damn, so that's crazy. The plays can really mess you up. The schemes and stuff. That's crazy.
Murray to the Tennessee Titans alongside a 4th-round draft pick, where DeMarco would have a brief career resurgence where he would rush for 1,287 yards. Unfortunately for DeMarco, there was another running back waiting in the wings, and after the 2017 season, DeMarco Murray would retire at the age of 29. Now,
damn,
this
I didn't know
list
that.
wouldn't be complete if there was no Le'Veon Bell. And in Le'Veon Bell's case, it is one of those situations where it was clear from the get-go that he may have been mismanaging his career by trying to get paid as much as he possibly could.
Yeah,
so
that's
in the
true.
2018 NFL season, after Le'Veon Bell established himself as a premier NFL running back, going for 3 1,000-plus yards rushing seasons and a couple of them where he even reached 2,000 yards from scrimmage, the Pittsburgh Steelers attempted to franchise tag him for a second straight year, which would pay him $14.5 million.
He ran over Kirkpatrick like badly.
Le'Veon Bell refused to sign the franchise tag and said that he would not play for the Pittsburgh Steelers unless if they signed him to a contract that he was worth. Eventually, he would go the entire season without playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and then he would sign with the New York Jets on a 4-year, $52.5 million contract with $35 million guaranteed, which would make him the second highest paid running back in the NFL. Unfortunately for him, his head coach went from being Mike Tomlin, and he went from running behind a remarkable offensive line to Adam Gase and running behind virtually no offensive line with a head coach that didn't really have a knack for good play design. So after a season where he would only average 784 yards rushing for a paltry 3.2 yards per carry average, Le'Veon Bell would get released by the New York Jets just 2 games into next season. He would then get picked up by the Kansas City Chiefs, but was used very sparingly in comparison to players like Darrell Williams and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and would have 254 yards rushing for the rest of the season, but he only would get 2 rushing attempts in the postseason for the Kansas City Chiefs. As a result, he came out and said that he would never play for Andy Reid again, and currently he remains unsigned going into the 2021 NFL season at the age of 29. Many people are assuming that Le'Veon Bell's best years are behind him. So those are players that have absolutely vanished. And
that's crazy,
if there are
bro.
any players that you think I forgot to mention and you think should belong on this list, let me know.
Hey, man, y'all let me know down below in the comments, bro, what you guys think, bro. Le'Veon Bell did go down, man. But anyways, man, make sure you comment. Love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Road to 20K. Forget that.